This is Jordan Smother, and we're going to talk about the bench a little bit today. First of all, with your setup, whether or not you're using one of these kind of economy racks here that you can move around so that you can keep your gym floor space open or not, or if you're in a fixed rack, it doesn't really matter. You want to set your bench up so that when you have it forward here, you've got about 6 inches or so of the bench on this side of the bar. That way, whenever you get under the bar and you get set up and ready to take the bench off of the rack, you're not in jeopardy of coming off the bench this way or of hitting the bar into the hooks here. So when you first get under the bench, you want to make sure whatever hooks the bar is on, whether or not it's these long rope J hooks or shorter ones, you want to make sure that you roll it all the way forward here, and that you situate your body so that your eyes are on the front side of the bar. So whenever I sit up here, when the camera's right above my eyes, you can see how the bar's on this side of it. So that way, whenever I press up and back, I'm not in danger of hitting these hooks and with one of my arms and then having to fight against that or having to move around it. Then the second part here is your grip. Female athletes, what works best for the shoulder width of a lot of female athletes is just to take a thumb width away from where the smooth part of the bar meets the knurling, right there, and then grip the bar. Both sides, it's going to be even. For most male athletes, we have found that placing your pinky on this ring right here is the perfect grip width for men. You'll unrack it by kind of lifting yourself up a little bit, squeezing your shoulder blades together, press it off of the bar. Now you should feel your shoulder blades together, or I'm sorry, pressing off the hooks. You should feel your shoulder blades together, and you should have a tight grip. We see a lot of athletes who want to hold the bar like this, but if you give up that tension in your grip, you're giving up strength. Then you'll just take a deep breath, hold it in, press it down. Now I want you to look where the bar is hitting my body. It's right in line with my nipples. That's about the perfect place. It can be a little bit lower here, but you don't want it up here, which happens with a lot of newer athletes for a couple of reasons. First of all, you're not very strong from this position, but also look at where my elbows are right now. If this were a push-up, I've got my elbows in a really bad position where I'm putting all that strain on my shoulders. But if it's here, now look at the position of my elbows. They're at about the same angle that you would see on a push-up. So I can press up from that position, let my breath out, bring it down, again, right at my nipples. Elbows are out away from my body, but not flared all the way out, and press it up and back. So it's not just a straight press up. The bar is going to track out a little bit of an arc. One thing that one of our really strong benchers in the gym likes to say is that you're just going to push it into the rack. That's a cue for him to really powerfully get up and back. So it's a controlled movement down, and then your intent is to explode up with the weight as fast as you can up, with a breath in between each rep. So you always want to breathe in nice and big. Have a nice tight grip on the bar, bring it down to your chest, touch it, and then explode up with the bar as much as you can. For some of our female athletes that we have training in here, those ones that are below about 5'5", what we like to do is place a 45-pound plate, or maybe a 25-pound plate, kind of depends on their height and the length of their legs, under their feet. Having tension along the back side of your body, just like having tension in your grip, is going to lend you a lot of strength on this lift. So if you are in a position here where you can barely just get your toes on the ground like that, and you don't really you can't really press into the ground very hard, you're giving up a lot of tension here. But if you're shorter and you have these weights set up in the right way, and you can get your whole foot on the ground and press your heel into the ground, then as you come down, you can generate a little bit of tension in your hamstrings, and then you can really press down into the weights or into the floor and generate that tension all along. You'll feel it. You'll feel the tension come along your hamstrings, butt, and back. That's good. We want that. So a tight grip and a tight squeeze into the ground is going to give you a lot of tension along your throughout your body. The feet along the backside of your body. It's going to help you press that weight up. One thing that we see a lot is with athletes who are new to gym training is they want to pick a foot up. Whenever they start struggling, they want to pick a foot up. What happens is, let's say I pick my right foot up. Now I've lost tension through this part here, coming through here, and so my left arm drops. So if you pick up a foot, you're going to lose tension along that right side of your body, but your left arm is going to drop. And you've basically lost the lift. You've got to keep, no matter how hard it is, you've got to keep pressing your feet into the ground. Really, the most important things to keep in mind when bench gets heavy are your feet into the ground and a big breath there at the top of the lift. As with all of our lifts, we want you to use your breath as a way to pace the reps as you squeeze them out. So those are some tips on bench press and things that we want to see our athletes do, and some mistakes also that some athletes make whenever they're first starting out.